So one of the things that we really enjoyed when we were here a couple of years ago was this little creek that runs behind here. And I'll look it up on the map. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. It's really nice. Now somebody had, either kids or puppies here playing in the mud, which is cool. That's what camping's all about, And then goes downstream. There's patchy sunlight. And then right over here, camera center there's 4 walk-in tent sites, and they're really nice too. They're tucked back in these. Most of this is hemlock. There is a few maples right here, and an oak or two. Looks like an old cherry. But here's our campsite. I mean, literally, 50 feet you can be streamside, and they've made an attempt at a stone barrier here to give it a little bit of riffle, and it's super quiet, but it helps out. I think a lot of people, they don't like the smaller parks for whatever reason, and Route 155 is right out there, and you do hear them trucks running on there. But what a beautiful little campground. I will never take anything away from Sizerville. I fell in love with it a couple years ago when we were here, and I feel the same way today. It's like, this is just perfect. So yeah, if you're out and about and you're looking for a small campground that you want to spend some time at, Sizerville, man, look it up because it is worth it. And one more thing, you saw me there, or maybe I'm not sure how I'm going to run this video, but I made a campfire there, and I did use a fire starter. I am not a bushcraft kind of guy with the ferro rod and backside of your knife. I almost always use a fire starter, but if you look down here, there is plenty of small twigs, especially from these hemlocks, that you could gather up to get your fire started. I mean, if you bring your own firewood, which is what we do, we bring our own firewood from home. But there's the campground sell them, and there's almost always somebody on the road to the campground, a private residence, that's selling bundles of firewood for $5. But there is plenty of tinder right here to get your fire started. So if you're coming this way, there's your tip of the day. Plenty of tinder. All right, time to sit by the fire a little bit. So I did a little walk down here to these walk-in tent sites, and I'll show you this. Somebody asked in the World's End group about the tent pads up there, and they have mulch tent pads up there, and they're very nice. They're very soft, but this is about the size they are. And if you gauge this by this picnic table that's on this tent pad, your family size tent, like what we have over there, that Ozark Trail, the dark, it's not going to fit on there. And it looks like this setup, they probably had their canopy here, and they probably put their tent somewhere else. Their fire ring is there, their lamp post is here. If you're coming in a small square tent, like 4 people tent, man, you're going to fit on there pretty nice, I think. But if you go into the deeper size ones where you get the 6 to 8 people, they're just not going to quite fit. And I'll walk over here to this other site and show you this one without the picnic table on it. It's just something to bear in mind, that I think it's a great idea to have these tent pads, but I'm telling you, unless you have a square one or an octagon or 2 small 2 people tents, they're just not gonna, a big family size tent is just not gonna fit on these pads. I think it's a great idea. I love it. It makes it nice and level and a little bit softer. The mulch up there at World's End is very soft. It's very fresh. They put that in a couple years ago, and it's still good. A little bit of trash here at this site, but not really big on picking up tissues and stuff. But there's some rope here, and there's some rope on a tree over here. So bear that in mind, folks. If you come here to Sizerville, to these walk-ins, make sure that your tent is going to fit on them, or do like those folks did there. Put your picnic table up on the pad and set your tent up. Like, that's what I would do here. I would move this picnic table either onto that pad or over here, and I'd set my tent up over there. I don't know if the park would bark at that or not. I kind of doubt it. I think they know the drill. But then there's 2 more sites there, Camera Center and a little bit off center down there. They're nice. They have their own parking spaces out there along the campground road. And I think if you brought, if you had enough young folks with you, or if you brought, a wheelbarrow or a little wagon or something, you could roll your stuff down here pretty easy and not miss out on anything. And like I said, you're right here on this little stream. And of course, Pennsylvania's in a drought. We have not had measurable rainfall probably since like the first week in May, since we were up at World's End. That's probably the last rain we got. We had some thunderstorms roll through the last couple of days, but it was enough to knock the dust down. You know what I mean? It was not, I would say, measurable rainfall in places. Some places got dumped on, but for the most part, the state is very dry. So bear that in mind. If you come up here and get these sites, think about what you're bringing and how you want to sleep, because they could be just a tad bigger, in my opinion. So this is the parking area for the walk-in sites. And then, as in most parks, they encourage recycling. They have trash cans. New for 2023 at Sizerville, all the sites are pet friendly. So they have waste bags. And this is the entrance right here to the campground, the first couple sites. But this rhododendron, we just missed this bad boy in all its glory here by a couple days, I would say. It's just past prime. You can see they're just starting to turn over a little bit, so we just missed it. But then I noticed all these yellows and blues here. Look at how nice they are. I don't even think I can get in close enough. Look at that blue. It's such a pretty blue. And these yellows. And of course, there's the playground. And all of these sites here, like I said, coming down from the bathhouse, they're all nice and long. Plenty of room. Easy for you to get into. The road's a little thin, but you ought to be used to that if you got a big rig and got to get in here. But it's super clean out here. Super clean, nice. If you can get by with 155 being there in that traffic, man, what a beautiful little spot. There's a couple of these. You see out here. There's water hookups. I mean, there is a dump station and a clean out up there by the bathhouse. But I mean, there's hookups here where you don't have to drive up there to get your water. If you're down in here, your hose ought to be long enough, or you could probably stop right on this road. I don't know how long it takes to fill one of them rigs up, but it can't be that long. Just give Sizerville a look. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. What a beautiful little park tucked in here. I was just looking at the map, and I'm not sure what kind of walk we're going to do. It's a toss-up between the Bottomlands Trail, which runs along the creek, or the Nady Trail. And there is another trail just on the side of 155 here. That's Elk State Forest. There's a 3-mile loop trail there that takes you up to the top of the ridge and a vista. So I don't really see us doing that. I think we're gonna do it Friday morning before we leave. I think we're gonna either do, like I said, the Nady Trail or the Bottomlands Trail. But today's just a rest day. There's a nap in progress right now. I'm not gonna mention who it is, but there's a nap in progress. And then dinner with my child tonight. I'm super excited to see her. So hope you folks are having a great day, because I know I am. So, as usual, there's a list here at the Amphitheater, what they got going on here. They have stuff going on Friday evening, and every Saturday, and every Sunday. And then there are a couple things here coming up this weekend, June 10th. This is, I don't even know what today is, the 7th. There's a dragonfly program and another program on hawks, eagles, ospreys, and falcons. So that's kind of cool that they do that. And then there's a camper right next to this here, but they have this, the path is paved and lights. So that's kind of cool. We're going to take a walk back here and show you the amphitheater. Here you go. You know, a lot of good seating there. 50 some people maybe. And handicap access here with the ramp. And then I'm sure if you open that up, there's probably a, you know, projector screen in there and juice for it right there. It's tucked in here, right along the stream. And again, there's a little bit of set of riffles back here. And a little path to get down there. That actually looks like it might be concrete or logs that they did there. But that's kind of nice. And I think that out there is the connector trail that takes you out. I think it was called Fee Hollow Road. And it makes a loop and then hooks up and comes across the ridge back here on the back side of the campground. So yeah, I could see this being really nice for programs or Sunday church service if they offer that here. Pretty nice, tucked back in here. Little grove. Looks good. I like it. Look at this little guy I spotted over here in the sunlight. Whoop. Well, I tried. What a beautiful butterfly. So I caught a flash of pink back here in the woods too. I'm going to try and get a picture of that. There's not sure what these yellow flowers are. There's a lot of bloom going on with them. See that back in there? See that flash of pink tucked back in there? Not sure what that is, if that's phlox or Dame's rocket or what that is back there. I'm not going back there. Cool. Yeah, my camera on this phone, when it zooms, it gets super fuzzy like that. I think it looks like Dame's rocket to me. But here again, look at, there's that yellow flower blooming real nice, and then there's these patches of these little baby blue ones. Really nice. A couple of young beech here. Place looks good. Real happy. Real happy we decided to come. I know it's smoky and red flag warning for people with asthma and stuff like that, or conditions, but man, what a beautiful day to be out here.
Yep. Did you follow him?